Before I start today's video, I just want to remind you that it's no buy January. So we're going to refrain from buying fabric in January other than what we absolutely need to finish a project or to do a paid project. All right, enjoy today's chat. Hello, welcome back to Lessons Learned. I'm Sherry and this is Monday Quilt Chat, where we just chat about everything quilty. Thanks for coming by here and sitting with me, and I hope you have a warm cup of coffee or a tea or a hot chocolate and enjoy our little chat here. Many of you have said that that's what you do in the morning. I'm the first one that comes up in your feed, and you just go ahead and make your morning beverage and listen to the quilt chat. So I appreciate that very much. That means a lot to me, and I hope you continue to enjoy it. I have no intentions of stopping. So it's 2024. Today's January the 1st. Can you believe it? We survived another year. Thank goodness. But we have more to look forward to in this coming year of 2024. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. I know there's a lot of videos about goal planning and goals to achieve, dreams to turn into goals, and concrete dates to get things done in and all of that. I'm a little more laid back than that. I have goals. I have ongoing goals all the time, but it does help to use this opportunity when a lot of people are thinking about a new fresh start, a new year, to put some things down in writing even, and start looking at what you want to achieve and make a plan. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Like I said, I'm kind of laid back with it all, but there are some things that I have in my mental queue here that I wanted to run past you, and maybe it's something that you'll want to participate in as well, and also just listen to what I'm planning on doing this year, at least the first half of the year. So 2024, what's going on? Well, I have 3 upcoming projects that I'm going to start. These are projects that are geared toward things that I like, and of course, if you have the wherewithal to join me on these, please do so, and we can share what we get done, and our questions and photos and things like that can be shared on not only our Finish It Friday episode here on YouTube, but also on the Facebook group Ongoing. So if you're not in the Facebook group, go there and search for Lessons Learned and join the group. It's a public group, and you can join that and share what you've been doing on there. So these won't be sew-alongs that I'm getting ready to talk about, but we can work on these projects together if you have these materials, or if you can still get them. Some of them, I don't know if you can still get them or not, but you can certainly use a different kind of fabric or fabric from your stash to make these patterns, because all of the patterns are still available. So the first one I have, and you all have seen all of these before, but just to let you know what my plan is, this is one that I'm going to start soon, Fields of France, and it comes in this nice kit box. It's a kit, and those are the fabrics. I just love this. So I'll be starting this pretty soon, at least in the first 3 months or so of this year. I'll be starting that, and then I've been showing you this Letters Home quilt pattern that I'm going to use my Anne of Green Gables, and I know you can still get these out there on Etsy, and some of the fabrics are still available on Quilt in a Day. And by the way, I'm pretty sure I got this on Quilt in a Day on sale. I don't know if the kit is still available, but you can probably find the pattern just about anywhere. Well, it's Riley Blake. It may even be a free pattern. I don't know. And then the other one is, I didn't bring it over here to show you, but I purchased the Tilda Hibernation line that came out this year, and I'm just going to show you here on my iPad the berry wreath quilt that I'm going to make with that collection. And then if you look down here below, they have it made up in an aqua background as well. So, and they have kind of a light blue one. that looks good. I mean, you can use whatever you want, but I'm just kind of trying to go by their recommendations because they're the design experts, right? So if you want it to turn out, you know, nice, then you do what they do. So I don't know. I really like that aqua color there. I have to decide. But I have all of the Tilda fabric. And then here, as you can pretty much see with the photo, here's the layout. Looks kind of like this. So you piece these. It's not paper piecing. It's not applique. It's pieced. So anybody can do this. It's not going to be that hard, but it is a lot of little pieces. So if you're up for that, here it is a little bit closer up. You can kind of see what kind of pieces you're going to be making and how the wreath comes together. So I'm going to be doing that. So probably within the next 3 to 6 months, I will have these projects underway. That's all I'm planning for on new projects until something else goes away, because I have a lot going on, as most of you have noticed. I still have the Barnstar sampler that goes on for 8 more months. Will I go the full 8 months, or will I hurry and get it done? I don't know. Barnstar sampler, it must go on. And then the Happy Days still has 4 more mailings. And I just got one in the mail. So I have 3 blocks that I need to get busy on right away on that. I have the pressed flowers from the Sew Sampler box that will finish in March. And I have subscribed to that box. So if there's another sew along, then that will begin in April. So that's going on. And then also the State Stars foundation paper piecing, I'm going to keep that going, but I have no timeline on that. So I'm just doing those as a fill-in if I get bored with everything else. I did work on the Louisiana Star some this past weekend, so that's getting underway, and I'll be moving on to another one really soon after that, I'm sure. I'll pick another one probably next Monday with you. And then Harriet's Journey. Remember Harriet's Journey? It's been a while since I pulled Harriet's Journey out, but now that I have really worked on applique skills doing the Happy Days, and also foundation paper piecing, doing the spiraling heart that we did, and a couple other smaller blocks that I did, and also the stars, then I feel fully confident to get that book back out and start working on they're just small blocks. So I need to start pulling that out and working on those again. So those are all things that are ongoing still. And then I have the 3 new projects, and after that, you know, I've got to get one other thing finished before I add a new project. Because I'm thinking, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 projects at a time is probably enough. I know some of you out there have more than that going on, but I think for me not to get overwhelmed and things becoming UFOs, I should probably keep it under 10 at least. So anyway, I'm going to talk about this again, the Quilt Art calendar. This past year, 2023, I used it as a planner. And I would, look at the week and just plan out what I was going to do, put a time amount on it sometimes, and make sure that I kept up on things. That was good. That worked pretty good. I found myself towards the end not filling it out as comprehensively as I originally was. I think I started out the year with like everything had a certain amount of time I was going to spend on it. And as the year went on, it was like, okay, today I'm going to get out such and such, but I didn't have any time on it. So, things kind of happened, and then they didn't, but you know, I kept busy, so it wasn't like I wasn't doing anything. It was just that it wasn't as structured as I had been doing. So I decided this year that I'm going to use this as a journal. So at the end of every day, I'm going to write down everything that I accomplished and see what that does. I kind of feel like it might be a nice brain exercise for me to be able to reflect on what's done instead of anticipating what has to be done. I think that might be interesting to see. So that's what I'm going to do. And I was looking through here and I had forgotten that this has 24 slots for projects. So it has the project name, the materials that you need with 6 spaces, and then 2 lines of notes. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. Is that for projects that I want to do later that I haven't purchased yet? Or is it for current projects? I need to think about that today and decide, am I going to list all my projects in here? And what am I going to do with this? Because materials needed, that sounds more like a planning type thing. Planning for a new project. So maybe I'll put my 3 projects in here and see what I still need for them. And the rest of them, maybe I will just name. I don't know. I'm going to work on that today. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work on this project section of the engagement calendar. So this is from AQS Quilters, AmericanQuilters.com. If you want one, go on there and place an order. The rest of it is addresses, machine maintenance, goals for next year. See, I need to remember that these pages are in here so that I will fully use this. It's really nice. And then it's got those, you know, each week has a quilt in it. I'll show you the quilt of this week before we leave today. Okay, so goals for this channel. Lessons Learned was conceived back in 2021. And Mark and I kind of had a meeting of the minds on what kind of channel would we want and what would we want it to accomplish. And we both agreed that both of us we like teaching. So how many times have you went to do something or learned to do something and you made mistakes and you learned from them? So that's where Lessons Learned came from. And learnt is the old English way of spelling learned. I know this, but it's just a little whimsical title. Doesn't really, you know, matter how it's spelled. Lessons Learned. Anyway, 2021, and then towards the end of 2021, after Mark had done some just various different types of videos, he kept asking me, when are you going to do a video? Can't you do a sewing video? Can't you do this? Okay, I'm going to do one. I kept putting him off, like, okay, I'm going to do one. And finally I did do one, and it was okay. I did a couple of gel nail videos, and I did, what else was some of the first ones? I don't remember now. And then I started to do a sew along that another channel was doing, and added another one and another one. And then I started doing a series with a layer cake. And from there, the channel just kind of took off. So since then, it's kind of evolved into 3 videos a week: Monday quilt chat, Finish It Friday, and then a Wednesday video, which is just a Wednesday video. You never know what it's going to be. I'm going to keep that schedule. That has been working out well. So I'm going to keep the 3 videos per week. I don't have any plans to not. I'm not feeling any pressure to neither take a day away or add another day. So, but with that in mind, I do want to vary the Wednesday videos a little bit. I do still want to do scrap busting, stash busting, or at least scrap and stash projects with helpful hints and tutorials. And also I would like to add into that mix for Wednesday a vlog style video. So it could be like a go to the store with me video, and you could tag along as I go to my local quilt store, or even to a discount store, or to Joann's, or to the sewing machine store, something related to quilting and sewing and crafting, but kind of more of an on the go, let's go see what they got, let's see what's on sale, that sort of thing. So I want to add some of those in just to vary things up a little bit. I've always wanted to try a video like that. I've done some things similar, like going to the quilt show, going to Paducah, things like that. And then I've had my little trunk show type thing too. Those are kind of different from the normal Wednesday videos, but yeah, I'm gonna try to make it a goal to put something like that in and see what happens. I hope you enjoy that. You can let me know if that's something that sounds good, and once I do one, let me know how you liked it. So, personal and professional goals. Now, I'm not one to just spill my guts and put my whole life out on YouTube. It's just not my style at all. But I have shared with some of you some of my health issues with the fatty liver disease and NASH and all that. And just an update on that, as a matter of fact. I went to the doctor and had a blood test done about 2 weeks ago, I think it was. And with my change in diet and everything, my levels are perfect. So I have that under control. I'm no longer under the supervision, I guess, of a gastroenterologist. And so now I can just have those levels checked by my regular doctor as they deem necessary. So I feel pretty good about that. It's been a little bit challenging the last month or so with diet. I haven't done the best. I usually start out the day pretty good, and I don't eat much during the middle of the day, but sometimes the evenings will get me still. Even with the food that I can eat. Like I've cut out sugar and carbohydrates for the most part, but there are some snacky things that I can eat that are sugar-free and don't have carbohydrates, but they still have maybe a high fat content or high caloric content. So I could improve on that. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing for 2024 and try to, mitigate the times that I don't do well dieting, and, get back on quickly, because, falling off the wagon and then getting left behind is a hard thing to recover from. Getting off the wagon and running and jumping right back on, that's what I need to do. So, yeah, I'm going to continue to work on that. I have to. Cleaning and decluttering. Cleaning and decluttering includes this sewing room right here and my home. I keep my home neat, but I don't have a really good schedule for cleaning. We're not dirty people per se, but the house needs to be clean. So I could improve on that, and I could set some goals as far as time-wise, using my time a little better to get some of those things done. Because 15 minutes in a bathroom or a kitchen will do wonders. You can get a lot done in that amount of time and come out with a clean kitchen and bathroom and a clean conscience as well, that you took care of that. All right, so professional goals. I don't know if you'd call this a professional goal, but it does have to do with the channel somewhat. But as you know, I recently purchased a Handy Quilter Moxie XL long arm with Pro Stitcher Lite, and I am learning that, and things are going rocky at best. But I have been able to complete a quilt on it. I've done lots of practice as well on it, and it's coming along. There is a pretty steep learning curve with that, and it's just like everything else you go to learn. It looks easy in a video, but when you go to actually do it, it's another story. So don't let those Instagram stories and Facebook reels fool you when people are effortlessly long arming on their long arm, or even if the long arm itself is just flying through and putting the stitches down for you. There's a lot more to that than what you see. So I've got lots to learn on that, and if there's any upcoming classes at my local quilt shop, which there probably will be, I will be taking those. Also, I had mentioned to you that I had purchased EQ8, which is a quilt pattern design system, and I got it, and I told myself, okay, I'm going to spend so many minutes a day on this, like 30 minutes to an hour a day, and also watching videos on it and learn that. Well, that's another thing that looks easier than it is. When you sit down to actually do it, it just doesn't feel like what you see on a video. So, or, you know, there's little glitches and things like that that they don't show you in the video. So I need to learn that, and I'm anxious to learn that. And that might result in us having some sew-alongs, maybe in the last half of the year. I would also like to keep on top of listing things on Etsy and eBay. I have an Etsy store and also sell things on eBay sometimes. And if you look in the description box, the links might be there. I'll try to think to put them. Finished quilt projects that I don't want to keep or I'm not gifting, I want to make sure and get those up on there. And also scraps and destashing that I need to do here in my room needs to go on eBay as well. And I hope no one takes this wrong, but I'm starting to detest pre-cuts, especially like 1 yard cuts. 1 yard cuts are just enough to make you have to go out and find that exact same thing to get the other yard or two that you need. So I'm going to drastically reduce my purchase of pre-cuts this year. 5 yard cuts and yardage, that's going to be my jam from now on. Now, if you buy something like this, you obviously know this is a fat quarter bundle. I don't know how many's in here. There's a bunch, probably 32. You can take this and get you another piece of yardage for borders or backing or both, and you've got it enough to make a highly pieced quilt like this. You're going to have enough. But there are some patterns that if you've got 3 3-yard cuts, all you can make is a 3-yard quilt. I'm not a fan of 3-yard quilts. I know people love those, but they're not my favorite. I'll just say that. Kudos to all of y'all out there that make tons and tons of 3-yard quilts and you love it. Keep doing it. The ladies that made those books, they probably made a fortune because people love those real simple, quick, do it in a weekend kind of quilts. It's not my thing. If I'm going to do a quick quilt, I'll just take some fat quarters and just sew them together. If I want to do something like that. But yeah, the pre-cuts, I don't know. They're just not the 1 yard cuts that you can get, or a bundle of 1 yard cuts. They just don't. I'm finding that those just sit and sit and sit in here. So I was talking about Etsy and eBay. So I may be actually selling some of that fabric to get it out of here. And then also my cubes that I have. There's a lot of fabric in there that has been around for a lot of years, and I just don't see myself using it. I just keep passing it up. Every time I pull the bin down to look for a blue, there's that same hunk of blue that's been there for 10 years. So I think it's time to declutter that stuff. And there's a lot of time involved in putting things on Etsy and eBay, but I need to make time to do some of that this year. So that's kind of one of my goals. So that's pretty much what I have written down for this coming year, and I think that's plenty. Oh, and I didn't mention one of my other projects that I have going on all the time. My 16 patches that I make. I will probably always have one of these going. It's for my scraps. You just take a solid or a low volume of any other fabric that you have plenty of, like at least 3 yards of, at least, and just put your scraps with it, 2.5-inch squares. I've almost got enough. I've got about half for another quilt. I had an aqua one, remember? And then this is the burgundy one that I'm doing. And when I get done with this one, I'm going to start another one. And I don't know what color I'm going to use, but I'm going to find a big hunk of low volume fabric and make another one. Because that's a really good way to use up your scraps. So, I don't know. There's so much more. There's so much more. The whole crafty world is so stimulating. And if you're like me, you just see things and you want it, and you want to do it, you want to try it. Thank goodness I'm not into starting new types of hobbies, because there are hobbies that I see out there, like on Pinterest, and I'm like, oh, I would like to learn how to make that. I'd like to learn how to do macrame. I need to go back to doing cross stitch. I can't do that. I just have too much to do already. So I'm just going to stick with my quilting. We're going to keep this channel going. We're going to keep motivating each other to get things done, because that's what makes us happy, right? And play with fabric. Yeah, but let's just do that. In a somewhat organized way. But if you get off from your goals, don't worry about it. Just make some goals, because they say, if you got dreams to do something, you don't put a timestamp on it, then it's just a dream. If you don't make it a goal, it just stays a dream. So, it sounds kind of serious, doesn't it? We don't need to get that serious about this stuff. Anyway, let's wrap this up with the quilt for this week. I'll put a picture up here so you can look at it while I'm reading the information. This is the first week of January 2024 out of the Quilt Art Calendar book. Something Blue, 75 by 75. This is by Linda Kilpatrick of DeSoto, Kansas. And it says here, foundation paper piecing was fun for Linda until it was time to remove the paper. A lot of people say that. I'm not a fan either of removing the paper. Jacqueline DeJong's pattern didn't have a border, so Linda drew her own foundation papers for that and the corners. She completed the piece with free motion feather designs on her Bernina 440 machine. It was displayed at the Kaw Valley Quilt Show in Lawrence, Kansas, and was juried into the AQS Quilt Week Branson show. So that there is called Something Blue. And how appropriate for January, right? Those blue, icy blue colors and white. Very, very pretty. Love those stars. What are those called? Compass stars or mariner's stars, kind of. But that's pretty cool how she paper pieced that whole border, all those tiny pieces. It's a 75 by 75 quilt, so that was quite a few tiny pieces. And the corners match the centers of the stars. Very nice. So we'll have more of these to share as the year goes on. And for now, I am going to let you go so you can list down all the things you want to accomplish for 2024. Doesn't hurt to put it to paper, and make it so somehow. To make it so, SEW. Make it so. I like that. Make it so. Yeah. Hey, that could be our phrase of 2024. Make it so. Yes, I like that. Let's do it. All right, get busy in your sewing rooms this week. Do something. Sew a little bit every day. And we'll see you back here on Wednesday for one of those mystery videos. All right, we'll see you soon. Bye.